Next on the evening news, Kyle Larson sweeps at both Charlotte Motor Speedway and Sonoma Raceway, 2 races back-to-back. And a postponement in the AJ Racing Cup Series, so this plays an effect in not only IndyCar and NASCAR stop motions, but the NASCAR playoffs in the AJ Racing Cup Series. The AJ News Network Evening News begins now.
From AJ News Network headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina, this is the AJ News Network Evening News with Aaron Edwards.
Good evening to our viewers around the world. I'm Aaron Edwards reporting in our bureau in Charlotte. In this very city, just 2 weeks ago, Kyle Larson took home the win of the Coca-Cola 600 on Memorial Day weekend. And this past week, he made it a 2-race win streak, winning a landslide victory at Sonoma Raceway. It was close right at the end in NASCAR overtime, and the 2 road course kings, Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, raced side by side into turn number 1. And although Elliott was right at Kyle's door, Larson had a great jump at the green flag, giving him enough momentum to clear the 9 car and take both the white flag and the checkered flags. This was Larson's 3rd win of the 2021 season after being reinstated in 2020, late of 2020, and now Larson is being brought up as a possible championship winner this year. News you've been waiting for a little while now, the delay of the upcoming races in the AJ Racing Cup Series. A few weeks ago, the AJ Racing Cup Series released a statement on the AJ Racing website and on Twitter that the upcoming races in the NASCAR playoffs and the IndyCar Ep.12 375 at Texas would be postponed until mid-June. The statement read, quote, "Due to the end of the school year and an abundance of assignments from the school, we will have to take time off from our stop-motion videos. The AJ News Network videos will still be in circulation along with more gameplay videos, so there will still be content on the channel for the time being. We plan to resume our stop-motion videos in mid-June of 2021 after school ends. Thank you for your understanding, and we hope to see you in our future videos." Unquote. And for more information on not only the delay, but on the schedule format moving forward, we have our field reporter, Ron Thomas, with us live. We'll share some questions and some answers right after the break.
The green flag is out. Green flag is out the brickyard. Green flag in the air on the way from the finale. Up and over he goes, flipping over on his roof. And the green conditions are declared underway in IndyCar. Put in 3, 2, 1, on. Good evening, you're watching the AJ News Network. We have a lot of news to get to tonight, so we'll get right to our first story. This is an AJ News Network special report.
Alright, Mark, I just want to ask you one more question. Hold reporting for us. Mark Thomas, thank you for that on AJ Racing. I'm Aaron Edwards.
Thank you for joining us back here. I'm Aaron Edwards in Charlotte, and our field reporter Mark Thomas is joining us live from just outside Sonoma, California. Good evening to you, Mark. Now, the first thing I just want the viewers to know is what really is happening. So can you explain the delay and the background of the delay, and then we'll move forward from there.
So essentially what happened is that really the Cup Series did not have enough time to put their priorities on the upcoming races such as the Ep.12 375 and the upcoming NASCAR playoff races. So they just had to delay it, and that was their only choice pretty much until they went through whatever they had to go through, and then they're like, okay, now they have the time to prioritize each race one by one. So it would be the Ep.12 375 and then the next NASCAR playoff race, then the next IndyCar, and then so on and so forth. So what really happened, that's really what happened, but the background is just that, they just didn't have enough time, and they had to make up for it, and what they had to do was delay the races. Now, that doesn't mean they're canceled or pushed back, like a month or something. It's not even a couple of weeks. It's really probably 1 or 1.5 weeks tops, just to you have to really make the phone calls and set up the venues, and then set up the actual race, and then you have to actually get the race going and things like that. So they have to get time to make those phone calls and have the time to set that up, and just so it's a good quality race. And only a week and a half of a delay is a big deal to viewers, but it's not that big of a deal because it really just takes that long to set up in the Cup Series.
Okay, and my second question is, what is the current impact right now of this delay, as in terms of logistics and race venues and things like that? And then after, what will be the impact, say this delay carries on for another week or two?
Logistically, the impact is not that big. All they need to do is have that time, which is why they delayed it in the first place. Is have that time to make the phone calls and send the emails and things like that, so they can get the venues back up and going and make sure they have the times and the schedule is right. And to set up the races and things like that. But not really a big deal logistically. The bigger impact is really the viewers making a different schedule, making different time for the races, a different time and date, is pretty inconvenient. So you might not get the same viewers who thought, who were going to tune in at the beginning of the year when they saw the schedule that was made before the delay and not after. So there may be a different rate of viewers in the following races after this delay, but it won't really be that big of a deal. Now, if this, like you said, like you asked, if the delay would go on maybe a week or so or 2 weeks, that I mean, it would be a bigger impact because now that's 2 weeks without any activity, not even setting up the races. But I think that this delay, how it's looking right now, it's probably going to end in about a week or so. A week and a half is probably the max. But if it just, let's just say it would go on for 2 weeks, now the logistics are going to start kicking in. Now there's going to be a big impact, not only with the venues and the setting up, but also the viewers. That's going to be a bigger impact there, and it's really going to show though, with the stats in the beginning of the year, to after the delay.
And for the teams and drivers that are going to be racing in the next races, and especially the playoffs in the NASCAR races, what would this mean for them?
For the teams and drivers and things like that, for both leagues, IndyCar and NASCAR, the only thing about it would be maybe their performance. Maybe they've been practicing, but again, you do get more practice time. I'm not only practicing, say, online and being able to race at the track, but actually, being able to engineer in the car and fix anything wrong with it. But I don't really think it's going to be a big deal for them, other than the quality of their driving and things like that because of the delay. But it's more practice time. It's more time to work on the car, more time to work with the team. So I don't think it's going to be a really big deal, but yeah, there's going to be some impact on them.
And Mark, have you heard any other information since the release of the statement, like from the Cup Series or Nathaniel Johnson himself, the president of the Cup Series, that would give us sort of like a time period of when we could see the preparations for another race start to kick back up?
So far, really, what I've heard and read is just delays. The delay is obviously going to continue for probably a week after this video, but nothing really long either. Like not even 2 weeks, probably not even a week and a half. I wouldn't rule that out, but I wouldn't just say a week and a half of longer of a delay. I think it's just going to be a solid week, maybe even less, before we see actual preparations for the races. So setting up the venues and things like that. I think, but the actual race would probably be 2 weeks after that. How it's normally been, but you should definitely start seeing preparations maybe about a week from now.
Mark Thomas joining us from outside Sonoma. Thank you.
No problem.
Now, for more information on anything AJ Racing related, you can check out the official website for the AJ Racing Cup Series. The links for that are in the description of this video and the comment section of every video, including this one published on the channel. I'm Ren Edwards. For everyone here, good night.
Hey!